Hello, everyone. This hour on Verblink, the next in my Fluency Fundamentals course. This is a basic vocabulary. That doesn't mean we're going to do only basic vocabulary, but this is the basic vocabulary you need in an important topic. And last class, I forgot which one this is, but I looked at it, and now I know. This is all about music, art, and books, literature. In today's class, we're going to be talking about music, art, literature, the arts. You can't really have a normal conversation with someone without knowing this vocabulary. It's good for exam classes like the IELTS or other exams, but it's also good just to have basic fluency. So we're going to be talking and playing a little game to help you with your basic vocabulary. Give me just a second to open this up. And as soon as I get it open, I'm going to share it with you, and we will get started. Let me just say a quick hello. Welcome back to Mr. Mikko. Nice to see you, Mikko.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Jonarek.
Mr. Isaac, nice to see you for the first time. Mr. Isaac, I think it's your first time. Is it Isaac or Isaac? How do I say your name? Isaac B or Isaac?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello, John. It's Isaac.
Isaac. Where are you
Isaac.
from, Isaac?
Spain.
From Spain. Whereabouts? Madrid, Alicante,
Is
Galicia?
near to Barcelona.
Near to Barcelona. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Isaac, nice to have you.
Nice
And,
to meet you. It's the first time with you. Your class.
and you won't regret it. I promise you that, Isaac. You won't regret it. And let's say hello to Ms. Julia. Hello, Julia. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
And let me see. You're from Italy.
Yes.
Whereabouts in Italy?
I'm looking for a job at the moment.
No, but where? Where in Italy?
Where? I live in Milan.
In Milan. Okay, fantastic. Excellent. If I can find a job, I will pass it on to you, Julia. Okay. And this is your first time with us, I think. I haven't seen you before, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nice to have you. Nice to have you. And welcome back, Sasha. Hello, Sasha.
Hi. Hi.
Hello. Say it with confidence. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. And we've got Vicente. Hello, Vicente. Welcome back, Vicente. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello. How are you?
Fantastic.
I'm fine.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And Vanan in the cafe. Hello, Vanan.
Hello, nice to see you again.
It's a little bit quieter now. The cafe has calmed down. It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
The afternoon rush is over. Okay, take a look at this, everyone. Take a look at this. There you go. Music, art, and books. Hopefully you can see that image on your screen. Hey, by the way, what do we call that thing? For those of you not my age, you probably don't know what that contraption is. I'll give you a hint. It was used to play music. Remember the old days when there were dinosaurs roaming the streets? We used to use these special machines to play music. Do you know what it's called? Nobody? Really?
Record player.
Oh, very good guess. Very good guess. Very good. That is a record player. And he used to play things called records. However, this is supposed to be the music that's on your mind, because you can see it's on the top of a guy's head. So it's the music that's in your mind we're going to talk about today. First, we're going to learn for the first 10-15 minutes. Actually, I've got a little game for you to play. Then we're going to apply what we learned to a variety of exercises to see if we can get it into your memory fast. And then we're going to do a little speaking activity at the very end. And if we have time, we're going to reflect on what we learned and make sure that we know what we learned. If you reflect on it, it's more likely to be in your long-term memory. So we're going to try to go through those 4 stages. But first, are you ready to play Artistic Jeopardy? Do any of you know the game show Jeopardy? Have you heard that before? If you know what it is, you got to tell us the rules. This is an American game show on television. Has anyone seen this? I'll take that as a no if no one says yes. I'll take that as a no. Okay, here's how you play Jeopardy. You play Jeopardy because you've got on the board like this, you've got little squares that have answers underneath them. So you call on a square. In this case, we're going to match up the letters and the numbers. And according to the answers you get, you have to ask a question. So for example, if you'll get a category. So let's say the category was film, for example. That's not one of the categories, but let's pretend that it was a category. So if you said, I want, it is Jeopardy, Van Ann. Have you seen Jeopardy? Have you seen?
Yeah, I heard about this game, but I'm not sure about the rule.
Okay, so let's imagine for a second that the category is film, cinema. All right, and it says, and the answer is, you call on, okay, I want letter A, and you can also, in the real game, I guess you bet a certain amount of money. I want letter A for 100, right? So then letter A will say the original James Bond, and then you have to ask a question that matches the answer. So what would be the question that matches the answer? Let's assume that the answer is the original James Bond, right? What would the question be that you would ask? Who is, help me out, class, who is, why don't you try, Van Ann, since you have a little bit of familiarity?
No.
Really? You don't know the actor who played James Bond, the original? Oh my
No,
God.
I don't remember his name.
Does anyone remember his name?
Yeah, this comic, it's a musician too, Woody Allen.
The answer is correct. The original, you know what? There was actually a guy before him. There was an American James Bond in the 1950s. But you're right. The first famous James Bond was Woody Allen, as far as I know. I don't remember if he was at the same time or before Sean Connery. But anyway, you could say who is Sean Connery, or you could say who is Woody Allen for the movie Casino Royale. And I'd give you points for either. Give me a second here. And that is how the game is played. Okay? So you get an answer. Well, I give you an answer. You have to ask the question. Now, what we're really doing is we're identifying some of the key vocabulary in the categories of music, arts, and literature. That's what we're really doing here. Okay? So, the only difference is that in this case, you're not going to pick one square, you're going to pick two. One letter and one number. Okay? And whoever gets the most points win. You can, I'll give you a limit. If you feel really confident, you can bet 3 points. If you're feeling more or less, you can bet 2 points. And if you're feeling not confident, you can bet 1 point. Whoever has the most points wins. Are you ready to play Jeopardy? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Ready! Here we go. So, I'm going to go in the order that I see you. The first person I see is Giancarlo. Giancarlo, you're going to
Hello.
pick a category. Pick a category.
Music.
Music, okay.
Yes.
Now, you're going to pick random letters and numbers here. You've got to pick one letter and one number for me to form the question for you, okay? So don't worry about where the numbers and letters are. Each category has an ABC, and each category has a 1, 2, 3. ABC represent the form of the art. 1, 2, 3 represents the type of person in the art, okay? So, what's your combo for music? It was music, right?
Yes, music. A2.
A2, okay. So I'm going to put JC for Giancarlo. A2, I'm going to tell you the categories. You're going to tell me how much you're going to be betting, how confident you are. You know what? Before I do that, I need my list of answers. Give me a second. It would help if I know what I'm going to say. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second. One moment. Because if I don't have the answers in front of me, I can't ask you the questions. Give me just one moment. It's opening on my side. Give me a second. Almost there. Yeah, here we go. Got it. Okay. So A2. A is, oh, this is a good one. Okay. A is classical.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, here we go. So let me put this on the board for you as we talk here. Okay, so A is classical, and 2 is solo artist. Oh, that's really way. Oh my God, this is impossible. You'll never get it. Classical solo artist. Now, how much are you going to bet that you know the answer? That you're able to name a classical solo artist? How much are you willing to bet? 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points? How confident are you?
1 point.
1 point. Now,
Yeah.
if we can't determine if you're right or wrong, you get to keep the point. So if you fool us, you get to keep your point. If you don't fool us, then you're going to lose the point. Okay. So your question is, so go ahead and name a classical solo artist. You're going to name one. If you really can't think of one, I have an alternative, but I want you to try to name one first. By the way, if you remember, you can fool us. So you can just invent a name, and if you fool us, you get to keep the point. You have 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Hurry up, Giancarlo. Time's up. Can you name a classical solo artist?
Andrea Bocelli.
Very good, very good. Let me see. I don't know if I'm spelling his name right. I'm going to put it like that. Okay, class. Does he keep his point?
Yes.
Of course. He named a true classical solo artist. Oh my God, Giancarlo, you should have bet 3 points. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know because I didn't remember before.
Very good, excellent. I spelled his name right. I spelled his name wrong, though, because it's only 1 C. Julia, you should have corrected me. I put 2 C's, but it's only 1 C. You should have corrected me on his name.
No, actually.
It's like this, right? It's 1 C. Bocelli. Very Bocelli. Okay, excellent. Very good, very good. So you've got 1 point. That means, Giancarlo, you can choose the next person to go.
Okay.
So pick a person.
Maybe Vicente.
Vicente. Vicente, you have been chosen. Pick a category, a letter, and a number.
Okay. Category B.
Okay. Category B, you mean art?
And
Are you doing art, music, or books?
person 2.
So I got B2, but
Yes.
what's the category? Is it music, art, or books?
Music.
In music. Okay, so we're doing music, B2.
Yes.
Okay. And give me a second. So B2 is and music. A2. Okay, A2 was classical. B2. Give me a second. B2 is going to be, oh, Vicente, I think it's your lucky day. You're going to name a rock
Rock.
Solo artist. Okay, how much are you going to bet that you're able to name a rock solo artist?
Rock solo artist.
How much are you going to bet? 1, 2, or 3 points? How confident are you that you can name a rock solo artist? I bet you're very confident, right?
3 points.
3 points, of course. Can you name a rock solo artist for us?
I don't remember the name. It's the boss. The boss.
The boss.
The boss.
What's
yes.
And he doesn't remember the name. Oh my God! You got 3
don't remember
points.
the name.
Oh my God! You're going to lose 3 points, Vincente. You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I wait. Mind.
Oh
I don't
my
remember.
God! If someone else gets it, you're going to lose those 3 points. Who is the boss, class?
The boss?
Who's the boss?
Ricky Martin.
Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen. Yes.
Bruce
No, Elvis.
Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen.
Yes.
So we've got no negative points. We've got no negative points. You haven't lost
Negative.
3 points, but you're
Negative
still
3
at no. You're still at 0. You're not negative.
Okay.
But
Okay. Thank you.
but Mikko, the task now goes to you. Pick a category, Mikko.
Music.
Music?
And C3.
C3. C3 in music. Give me a second. Let's see. So C. Okay, that's fine. Got it. Okay, and 3. This one's a little bit tricky. Okay, got it. So this one is C is the type of music is post-punk,
Sorry.
and you've post-punk, and you've got to name a producer, which could also be a record company.
A record
Producer,
company?
it could be a record company. Yeah, it could be a record company. Give me a second. I'll put this in the chat window. Now, how confident are you that you can name a post-punk producer or record company?
Music, punk.
That's the
Ufa.
category.
The less is 1.
The less is 1. The least is 1.
Oh,
Right.
sorry, the least is 1.
The least is 1. So 1 point?
1 point, no more.
1 point. Okay. So go ahead and see if you can name one. Remember, Giancarlo said he couldn't, but in the end he could. For 1 point. And remember, you can fool us. If you invent a name and none of us realize that it's not real, you still keep the point. So you've always got the cheating option. Mikko, post-punk record company or producer.
Post-punk. Sid Vicious. I don't know if it's post-punk back.
But is that a record producer or record company?
It's a singer.
I know, but that's not the category. You said C3. 3 is for producers.
Producers.
So, unless Sid Vicious produced music.
Produce. Oh. Not easier, but.
Not easy. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Are you gonna stick with Sid Vicious, or are you gonna move on?
Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious. Okay.
I don't know.
Very good. So Sid Vicious. Now the question is, class, did Sid Vicious produce music? If he did, maybe Mikko's right. So, what do we think, class? Does he keep the point?
Yes.
I've got one. Going once. Does anyone challenge Mikko about Sid Vicious? Any challengers? Does anyone want to say no? Sid Vicious did not produce post-punk music?
It's never. I don't know what is never.
Nobody's challenging? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mikko, no one challenged you. I guess you keep the point. So right now there's a tie between Mikkel and Giancarlo for 1 point.
Thank you.
Do you know what the answer is? You want to know the real answer, Mikkel?
No.
You don't want to know the answer? The answer is that you are wrong. But you're going to keep the point. You're wrong, because Sid Vicious wasn't post-punk. He was punk.
It was punk, yeah.
He was punk. If you said Johnny Rotten, you would have been correct, because Johnny Rotten went on to form the quintessential post-punk band, Public Image Limited, in 1980. So you would have been all right. So right now, it is a tie. It is a tie.
I get the point. This is more.
You got the point.
This is the most important thing.
Right now, the score is tied between Giancarlo and Mikkel. Okay. Well, I want us to focus on some vocabulary. So we're going to take some of these categories. I'm just going to ask you about them now. Okay? In art, the first category is painting. A person who does painting is a painter. So A1 would be name a painter name a painter who does painting. So I'd have to ask it like that. So Julia, what do you think? Can you name? Let's do this backwards. Maybe I can give you a name. Yeah, maybe that's better. I'll give you a name.
Yes.
No. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this backwards here. Give me a second here. I want to see how I've set this up, because maybe. No, I'm going to do that later. No, okay, I'll come back to it. I can't do it backwards. Let's do it like this. Let's uncover the other categories. So, Julie, a form of art. Just name a form of art. Our game ended in a tie, but I'd like us to think about some other vocabulary for form and person. So, look at square B. What is a form of art?
It's someone which work is to paint.
And what is that again? What are you describing?
A painter.
A painter. Okay. Okay. And the thing the painter paints is a what? What does a painter paint? What is the work of art called?
Work?
What is the work of art called? What is the work of art?
Artwork.
What is the work of art done by a painter? What's it called? Look at the chat window if you're not sure what I mean. Give me just a second. Look at the chat window, Julia. What's the key word for the form of art done by a painter? What's the key word? Julia, do you see what I wrote in the chat window?
Artwork. I don't know. I'm not sure. But...
What is the work of art done by a painter? In other words, just change the form of the word.
Painting.
A painting, exactly.
Yes.
A painting. Excellent. Can you name another form of art besides painting? Let's just brainstorm a little bit here. Can you name it, Tanya? Can you name another form of art besides painting?
Sculpture.
Sculpture. Excellent. And Vicente, what is a person who does sculpture?
I don't know. I don't
bet
know
you
the name.
I bet you do. I don't want to know a specific name. I want to know the title. What do we call an artist who creates sculpture? Just change the form of the word. Not sculpture. That's the form. But the person is a what?
Sculptor.
Sculptor. Correct.
Sculptor.
Spelled T-O-R.
Sculptor.
Sculptor. Fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about literature. So, Mikko, what is a form of art that is in the world of books and literature? Give me one type of literature.
But literature is an art too, no? It's the general art of.
Yeah. And in literature, you read what? What types of literature? Give me a type of literature. Maybe instead of form, I should have said type. Maybe it's easier. Type of literature. In general.
Poetry could be one.
Fantastic. Poetry. Right. Because in other languages, this was written, this is said differently, like poesia. In English, poetry. Okay, excellent. So, Giancarlo, if poetry is a type of literature, what is a person who writes poetry called?
A poet.
A poet is a person who writes poetry. Excellent. Can you name another type of literature besides poetry?
Novel.
Of course. Novels are a type of literature. And Julia, what is a person who writes a novel called?
Novelist.
A novelist. Fantastic. Now we're cooking. A novelist writes novels. Jose, earlier we talked about music, we talked about arts, we talked about books. Can you name another form of music besides punk and classical? Give us another type of music.
Another type of music.
Yeah, we talked about punk, we talked about classical. I think there's at least 3 kinds of music in the world. I'm pretty sure about that.
Samba.
Samba, fantastic. Samba is a kind of music. Now, what would you, this is a tricky question now. A person who does samba in English is a what? How can we talk about that person? This is a little tricky. It's not a very
composer.
Okay, in general, you could say a person who writes music is a composer.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so maybe we could say, and if you're not a composer, if you play an instrument, what are you?
Music.
Music? No, not music. No? Music is the thing.
Musician. Musician.
Fantastic. So you could be a samba musician. Okay, very good, very good. So we did a little mini Jeopardy, but we also brainstormed for some other forms. Okay, I put a few answers on the next slide. So some of the things we didn't talk about, well, classical, rock is sometimes called pop for popular. One kind of rock performer or pop performer is a songwriter. There's many others. These are just a few suggestions. We talked about painters, sculptors. We talked about novels, novelists. We didn't talk about short stories, but notice you're not a short storyist like a novelist. You're a short story writer. Poet, poetry, plays, dramatist, or playwright. So those are a few other ideas for you to think about. Now, I want you to try to solve this verbal equation. Okay? So, let's see. Mr. Vincente. The first word is concertos. The second word is symphonies. What is the answer? Concertos plus symphonies equals what?
Okay.
What was that, Vicente?
Yes. Opera?
Opera. I don't think so. but hold on to that answer because you might be right later on. Anyone else want to give it a try? Anyone else want to give that a try?
It's only one word.
It is only one word, but it's an adjective because I'm saying music, so it's an adjective to describe the kind of music.
Classical musician?
Classical music is correct. So the answer to that is classical. Okay. And I spelled, there's a typo there. It should say sim with an M, not N. It should say symphony. I'll have to correct it later. So there's a typo on the screen there. It should be should be mistake, should be symphony, like this in the chat window. Okay, let's see, Tanya. The next equation, see if you can work it out. Read it for us, the second one.
Beethoven and Schubert.
Uh-oh. In English, we'll say, in English, we're going to pronounce it a little differently. Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Not B. Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Schubert.
Schubert.
Now, what do you think is the answer to that equation? Beethoven plus Schubert equals...
Oh, God.
What do they have in common? What do they have in common? They're both what?
It's oh my God.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, teacher.
Anyone else? Beethoven plus Schubert equals... Remember, think about the last one.
Composer.
Composers.
Composer.
Composers. Were they musicians? They were, but they're more famous for being composers. Excellent.
And is it Beethoven? At the end is A or is E?
I think it's A. Did I spell it wrong? No, you're right. You're right. I spelled it wrong. I spelled it with an A. That's because I was doing this at 2 in the morning last night, and I was not awake. Yes, symphonies is spelled wrong, and Beethoven is spelled Beethoven with an E. My fault. I need to get more sleep before I do these things. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Anna, this is your moment to shine. You've got to work out the equation. Can you read the third equation for us in the list and see if you can guess the answer to number 3?
Okay. Puccini, Bizet. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Me neither. I have no idea.
Okay. Opera.
Opera. I think she's right. Puccini, I think it's Bizet. I guess it's Bizet. Would be opera. Fantastic. So it's what they're known for.
I think so.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Sorry.
What did Puccini? What opera did Puccini? What's the one he's known for? And what opera did Bizet? What are they known for? Do you know? When you think Puccini, you think in what's the name of that opera? Anyone? No opera fans here?
La Bohème.
La Bohème is correct. You win the cookie. You win the double cookie if you can tell me the opera by Bizet. Or is it Bizet or Bizet? I really don't know because it's not I don't think it's a French name. Does anyone know? Going once? Going twice? No one's got it. Carmen is the opera by Bizet. Carmen. Someone sing the main theme from Carmen. Who knows it? Oh, I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in all of you. Very disappointed. We'll have an opera class later on. Mr. Miko, can you read the fourth equation for us and tell us what do you think it equals?
McCartney and Lennon.
Equal?
Beatles.
There's a better answer. Because the Beatles would be McCartney, Lennon, Ringo, McCartney, Lennon, Starr, and Harrison. But we're missing 2, so McCartney and Lennon together are...
2 Beatles.
Half a Beatle. Okay, help him out, class. That's not the word I'm looking for. A band. Too general. Too general. Too general.
A cuarteto.
a quartet of 2 people? Really? No.
Rocky
Singers.
That's true. They are rock singers. Oh, we're going to come back to this one. Okay, let's see. Julia, can you read the 5th one on the screen and see if you can figure it out? This one, I hope, is easy.
Yeah, monk and Vivi.
Equals, number 5, equals. Oh, Julia, you don't know. If I tell you their full names, you're going to get it immediately. Let's see if anyone else knows. So, Julia, you have no idea, right?
Right.
Julia, what if I said Thelonious Monk and Dizzy Gillespie? What would you say then? Thelonious Monk and Dizzy Gillespie. Do you know now?
No.
No! Oh my God. Class, help her out. Monk and Dizzy equal
Jazz.
jazz. Thelonious Monk, Dizzy Gillespie, bop. You know, bop music. The first big movement in jazz after that European, well, they diverged from the European big band style. Oh, and here's one that you should all know. I'll be very disappointed if no one knows the sixth one down there. So let's see. Mr. Jose, you read the last one, the sixth one on the list. Jose, I'll be very, very angry with you. We're the same age. If you don't know the answer to number 6, I'm going to be very upset with you. Jose, can you read the sixth equation for us? Jose! He's not there. Jose is afraid. Don't be afraid, Jose. I'm not going to hurt you. Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Giancarlo for the sixth. How old are you, Giancarlo?
I'm in my 30s.
In your 30s. In
Yeah.
your 30s. Would you mind if I ask specifically where in your 30s?
No, I'm 31.
31. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll forgive you if you don't know this one. I'll forgive you. I think you should know half. If you don't know the other half, I'll forgive you. You're 10 years younger than me, so I understand. Read the 6 and make your educated guess.
Mm,
Can you see it at the bottom? Cramps plus
Cramps and Pixies
equals
band, maybe.
True. They're bands. Anyone have a better answer than bands?
Alternative rock.
Alternative rock. I would absolutely accept alternative rock. How old are you, Miko? Are you the same age as me?
More or less 18.
You're 18. We're the same age. Okay, good. Do you remember? You remember the Pixies, right? They were pretty famous.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you remember the Cramps?
more or less.
Oh, the Cramps rock.
Yeah.
Come on. What about Poison Ivy? Remember the singer from the Cramps? The hottest chick in punk rock. Okay, take a look. These were my answers.
Post-punk.
Post-punk. Oh.
I would say they're both post, but hey, alternative, that works too. When I was a kid, and we used to play the Pixies in my band, we used to play covers. We were alternative. Yeah. Hey, want to hear me sing a Pixies? Who wants to hear me sing? Who wants it? No one? Oh my God. Not even you, Julia. Julia, take a look at this. I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to give you an instrument. Now, what I want you to do is tell me the instrument, but I also want you to tell me that what we call the person who plays that instrument. Okay? I didn't really number these, so you can go in any order you like, but tell me where you are on the screen. If you're on the left, the right, the middle, etc. So, Julia, start us off.
The pianist
The pianist right in the middle, okay.
Beethoven.
Oh, you don't have to be specific. So,
Okay.
the instrument is
Piano.
piano, and the musician is called one more time.
Beethoven.
No. But the name of a musician, the person who plays the piano is a
Pianist.
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 Not pianist. Careful. Pianist.
Pianist.
Pianist. That's right.
Yeah, pianist. Okay.
Julia, say that for me once more. Pianist.
Pianist.
Good. So the stress is not on the a, it's on the e. Pianist.
Okay.
So it's piano, but pianist. The stress switches. Okay. Excellent. Anna, take one for us. The instrument and the person who plays it.
I don't know the person.
Well, not a specific person, but I'm saying the name of the musician. So piano, pianist. Try another one.
Cello.
Cello, excellent.
The first one.
Excellent. Cello.
I don't know the name of the person who plays cello.
Oh, I bet you do. Because if we have piano, pianist, we have cello, cellist.
Cellist.
Correct. Not celloist, but cellist. Very good.
Cellist.
So it follows a logical pattern in most cases. So piano, pianist, cello, cellist. Vicente, give us another. Anyone you like.
Guitar.
Say again. Repeat.
Guitar.
Guitar. Look, careful with the stress.
Guitar.
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 Yeah, not guitar, but guitar.
Guitar.
Fantastic. And the musician is called?
Guitarist.
Guitarist. Piano, pianist. Cello, cellist. Guitar, guitarist. Fantastic. Tanya, one more. Let's see if we can get them all. What do you think, Tanya?
Violin.
Violin?
Violinist.
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 Excellent. Miko. We're running out of pictures.
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
Saxophonist.
Saxophonist. Fantastic. I think we're missing two. Just two. So, Jose, we've got two left. Jose! Jose's out getting a beer. Giancarlo, we've got two left.
The drums, drummer.
Drums, drummer, or the drums, drummer. They're not drummist, but drummer. Very good.
Drummer.
Fantastic. Okay. And Julia, do you think you can do that last one? The one on the far right side?
Maybe flute.
Uh-huh.
And the player is fluist. I don't know the name of it.
Very good. Very good. Now, you're almost right. Almost. The answer, this one is a little different. Take a look. Flautist, Julia. Flautist.
Flautist.
For some reason, with the word flute, it's irregular, and we don't say flutist, we say flautist. I have no idea. You're going to have to Google for it to find out why it's different than the others. Okay.
But, sorry, but in British English, it's not flute, no, it's flout.
Is it flout in British English? Is it really?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Give me a second, and I'll tell you. I'll just take a quick search. Maybe you're right. Flout. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right because I can look it up as flout. So you must be right. Let me just double check because I've got flout in Wikipedia. So maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe in British English it's flout. Actually, I never knew that. I'm looking it up right now on Wikipedia, and it says this is Wikipedia in Romanian. No, I don't want that. Let's go to this word, Nick. What is this? See? No, I don't know. I can't confirm it. But I think you're right. I think you might be right. Okay. In any case, at least in America. No, you know what? Who was that? Nico. You know what? I don't think that's true. The reason is because the material I'm using is British English. So actually, I don't think that's true. Because this book, what I took this from, is a British English publication. And it's pre-internet. It's like 100 years old. So I think not. I think it's just flute.
Okay.
But good guess. But, Mr. Nico, yes.
Who plays the keyboard and who plays the harmonica?
I'm sorry, say again, please. One more time.
Who plays keyboard and Who plays
Keyboardist.
keyboardist and harmonica?
We've got keyboardists and we have harmonica players.
Okay, thank you.
Harmonica. I don't think we could say harmonicists. I don't think so. It sounds really odd to me. So I would say no. I wonder harmonica. I would say harmonica player. But you know what, Anna Carolina? I think that was you, right, Anna Carolina? You know what we can say, which is funny? We can say harp player, even though I swear I'm not making this up. Even though it's not. Let me just double check because if we say I play the harp, we don't mean the big thing, that giant thing like Harpo Marx. Give me just a second. I don't think I'm making it up. Give me a second. Let me just make sure. Harmonica player. Harmonicists. Look, in Wikipedia it says harmonicists. I'm telling you, nobody ever says that. Harmonicist. But if you play blues, American traditional black music, if you play blues, they'll say harp. At least when I went to blues festivals when I was a kid, I remember saying, like Charles Musselwhite is a famous blues harp. Yeah, this is it. All-time harp players. In fact, you've got a link here. Blues harp gods. Take a look. So, Anna Carolina, that was a really good point because that's not very obvious. If you click on that link, you can see they call it blues harp, but they mean harmonica. So actually, that's a funny one. Okay, very good. Hey, I've got one more thing here to try with art. We haven't really talked about paintings too much. So, what I've got here is... What did I want to do here? Give me a second. Oh, study these words for a minute. Study these words and pictures for a minute. Okay, art gallery, school of painters, portrait, self-portrait, abstract painting, landscape exhibition. Okay, take a minute, look at those words, and now what I want you to do is, I want you to tell me if you can match them to the definition on this page. Quickly, see if you can match them to the definition. If necessary, I'll flip back and forth. So slide 10, definition, and slide 9 is the key word, okay? So, we'll talk about those paintings in just a moment. So, what do you think, Vicente? Take the first one for us. A painting of the artist. Read it for us.
A painting of the artist done by the artist is a portrait.
Okay.
Portrait?
We'll find
self-portrait.
Self-portrait. I think you're right because it's done. It's of the artist by the artist. The key word is the artist, meaning the same artist. That's it. Tanya, take the second definition for us, please.
A painting of the artist done by
second one. Next one.
Next one. Oh, sorry. You can see individual paintings or can I see okay.
You can see, if you go there, you can see individual paintings, or you could see what? So think about your choices. Individual paintings or what? This one is a little bit tricky. A little bit.
Individuals painting?
Not individuals paintings. Wait a second. Individual painting.
Individual.
So, for example, if you go to the MoMA, the Modern Museum of Art, in one room you have paintings by different people. These are individual paintings. But in another part of the museum, you can see paintings only by one person. So what do we call that? Paintings by only one person in a museum. Which keyword do you think is the best fit?
Self-portrait?
Nope, because that's the one Vicente said. Vicente said that self-portrait is the first one, a painting of the artist done by the artist.
Okay.
So,
You can see.
we'll come back to you on this. We'll come back in a second. Think about it for a minute. Who's next? Mikkel, the third definition?
A painting of the countryside is... Come back, please. Landscape.
A landscape. Okay, we'll find out in a moment, but that sounds good to me. And Jose, are you there? Jose is still out getting his beer. And Giancarlo, the fifth definition is?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Painting that is not realistic is... Can you return to the previous? Is abstract painting.
An abstract painting.
Abstract painting.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Anna, can you take the... We skipped the fourth, actually. Can you go to the fourth? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth definition.
2,
Anna?
3, 4.
Okay, teacher. To see a famous painting, you need to go to an exhibition.
You need to go to an exhibition. Okay.
Exhibition.
Okay. It fits. I don't know if it's the best word, but we'll see in a moment. It fits.
Okay, sorry. So it's art gallery.
Art gallery is a better fit, actually. It's a better fit. Because where will the exhibition is inside of the art gallery. So an art gallery can have different exhibitions. An exhibition could also be held outdoors. An exhibition could be held anywhere, basically, wherever you choose to exhibit.
Okay.
But to see a famous painting, you're not going to go outdoors. You're going to go to an art gallery or a museum, of course. Okay. Very good, very good, very good. And let's see, and Julia, can you take the, I think it's the second to last. The second to last one, Julia.
The third one was skipped as well, teacher.
I'm giving Tanya time to think. Julia, let's go to you for the next one. The second to last.
The impressionists were full of painters.
A school of painters, of course. Okay. And who wants the very last one? If you know it, shout it out.
Can I?
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you answering?
Go for it. A painting of a person is?
Portrait.
A portrait. Okay. And Tanya, yours was?
Exhibition.
Exhibition. Exhibition. You can see individual paintings or an exhibition. Fantastic. Okay. Well, listen, everyone. Yes.
I thought the answer was School of Painters. No? Which one is the School of Painters?
Impressionists were a school of painting. So I put the answer on the screen right now. See it?
Okay, thank you.
By the way, just on this topic, let's go back to the paintings. Do you recognize these paintings? Or these painters? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Who do you see, Anna?
The first one is Frida Kahlo.
Frida Kahlo, absolutely.
The second one is Mona Lisa.
Ooh, we got some.
By Leonardo.
Let me just mute Julia for a second. Sorry, I'm just turning off your microphone for a second, Julia, because we got an echo. You can turn it back on when you're ready to talk. Go ahead, Anna.
I recognize the first two, Frida Kahlo and Mona Lisa by Da Vinci.
By Da Vinci, fantastic. And can anyone name the last painting?
It's Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Is it Van Gogh or Van Gogh?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
It's in America, for some reason, we use a French pronunciation. I don't know why. We say Van Gogh in America. But the real pronunciation is Van Gogh, with a ch at the end.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
In Dutch, you say the G like a ch, so I guess it's Van Gogh or Van Gogh. But in America, we always say Van Gogh. Now, I want to play a little game here. So I'm going to jump ahead. I've given you some tests on the other pages, which you can do on your own if you like. There's answers I can put there for you. Decide what kind of artists these people are. You can try this on your own. You can test yourself here as well. The answers will be at the end. What kind of paintings are these? But I want to just jump ahead here to a little game. We're going to play Art Critic in the last 2 or 3 minutes. And what I want you to do, if you hang on just a second, is it says you do an image, a Google image search for an image which may or may not be art. Student B, you discuss its form, its meaning, and context, like paintings, schools, and things like that. Try to convince us what you see is or is not art, and then we'll see where it really came from. Well, to make your life easier, I'm going to give you the pictures, and let's see if you can use some of this vocabulary to talk about it. Okay? So if you give me just a second here,
You have
I'm
one.
going to give you.
You have
What's
one
that?
in my picture. You have one in my picture.
I have one in whose picture? Whose picture, Nico?
My image, like you could see there behind me.
Ah, very good. Very good. So, but the thing is, you already know the answer to that one. You know whether it is or is not art.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you a picture where you have to decide. You have to convince us. You'll see what I mean. Give me just a second here. I've got to just open a link. If I'm able to do it, give me just a second. Let's see if I can do this fast. Hold on. Almost there. Almost there. Sorry, my computer is a little slow when I got the hang of it going. Yeah, let's try to do it like this. I'm going to give you a little quiz in this case. Let's see. Give me a second here, and I'll put it on screen. Okay, I'm going to do this differently because it's too hard to get the images onto the screen. So I'm going to give you a little BuzzFeed quiz, which is almost as good. In 2005, ABC News asked artists and art historians to distinguish between modern art and art by 4-year-olds. They didn't do very well. Let's give it a try. Class, using some of those great keywords you just learned, tell me, sorry about the distraction, I know there's a lot of other pictures. Is number 1 art, modern art, or art by a toddler? Tell me what you think. And give you your answers at the end. What do we think? Art or toddler?
Toddler.
Toddler.
Total modern art.
I'm hearing more toddlers, and the answer is correct. This beautiful pensive piece is by a toddler. Do you know why? Because there was a case a few years ago of a 4-year-old who was considered a prodigy, and a lot of people were disputing whether she was really able to create art or she was doing something that anyone could do. So I think this is where this came from. Modern art or toddler, picture number 2.
Modern.
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 Total.
Let's see. Oh, I'm hearing 1 toddler, but more moderns. Let's see. For those of you who said modern, this is from de Kooning. It's a detail painted by de Kooning, a tree in Naples. And it's always useful to see the original.
When he was a child.
It's not when he was a child. Let me see if I can find the original painting. Give me a second. That's going to load. We'll come back to it in a second. Yeah, there, you can see it. There's the whole thing. You can see it there with the guy standing in front of it in the museum. Okay? One more. Oh, this one is easy. I recognize this painting. Modern art or toddler, class?
Modern.
Yeah, this one is easy. This is the... Does anyone know who this is before I click the answer?
No.
Do you recognize the painter?
No.
Oh, this is so familiar. I think it's Paul Klee, but I'm not sure. This looks so familiar to me. Give me a second. I don't know. I can't remember. Let's find out.
Toddler.
It's a toddler.
Oh.
We got it wrong. We got it wrong. It's not fair.
It's
It's not
beautiful.
fair. It is
It
nice.
seems,
It's really nice.
It's
yes,
nice.
it seems
This is
modern.
this is a very talented toddler.
It's an art.
Very talented.
Yes,
Okay, one last one. I can't resist. One last one. Modern art or toddler?
modern.
Modern.
Everyone says
Modern.
modern. Wrong!
My gosh, this one is very talented
Oh
as
my
well.
God. Well, we're 3 for 2. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can do. Let's see. We got 5, 5, 6, 7. We can't do them all. Okay, one last one. Modern art or toddler?
Toddler.
Toddler,
Modern.
Everyone says
definitely.
I think it's modern.
Modern.
I think for me this is modern. But you're all saying toddler. I think Miko, I heard you say modern. I'm
Any
almost sure this is
toddler can
modern.
do that.
Let's see. It is modern art. I was right. Look,
Ay, come on.
modern
I
art.
cannot see the difference. In my eyes, that the toddler paintings were better than this one.
That might be true, but it's hanging in a museum somewhere. And here's the original, if we can see a better picture. Laburnum by Hans Hofmann. Wow.
I
And
can
the
do
reason-
better than each teacher.
I'm
I can
sure you
make
can.
one.
I'm sure you can, and you should. But listen, the reason why I thought this was modern art was because you can see figures. It's not all abstract. When you see those little figures, the plus and those other squiggles that have a definite shape, immediately I start to see like a definite composition, right? When I look at this, I see a triangular shape in the middle that connects the plus to the circle to that squiggle, that coil, and it moves the eye around the canvas, which to me seems that it's very deliberate. So I think this is a modern art, an abstract modern art piece that has to do with composition, in my personal opinion. So that's why I thought this was.
In my personal opinion, it's awful.
And we have our first art critic in the class. Very good. Excellent. All right. Well, listen, we're going to have to stop here, but I've given you a few exercises to try on your own with those vocabulary items. I'll put the answers at the end of the document later today. Try them out, see how well you do, okay? And if you have any questions or comments, send me a message. Send me a typed message through the message window. I'll be back tomorrow for a fascinating article. I think it is, I'm just blanking because I'm very tired today. Hot Topics is at 10 GMT. I know it's a good article, but I forgot what it is. You'll see the description. And at 11 GMT, we're going to continue with our fascinating business class on the power of introverts. We started it Monday. Read the article if you haven't done it. We're going to profile a business leader according to what we learned about introverts, and we're going to, I've got another activity as well for you as with that. But we're going to be using that vocabulary from the article, so please read it if you haven't already. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye,
See you.
teacher.
Bye.
Thank you.